His last Premier League goal, by the way, was 14 months ago against Manchester City. And it's a chance today to take a closer look at Ryan, who's had rave reviews since joining Bournemouth from Vasco da Gama in January. The teenager made his full debut for Brazil at the end of last month. So it's so near yet so far, I suppose, in title terms for Mikel Arteta and his players. At the moment, they need cool heads as the pressure continues to intensify. As for the man in the opposite dugout, Andoni Iraola was born 3 months after the Arsenal manager in the Basque region of Spain. They've known each other for the best part of 30 years. In Madrid for the Champions League on Tuesday. The VAR is Darren England, and we've got RefCam, as you can see, in operation as well today. So Arsenal's lead at the top is 9 points as it stands. After this game, they'll have played 2 more games than Manchester City. It's also the final league match before they go to the Etihad next weekend, which just adds to the importance. Despite the fact that Bournemouth start the day in 13th place, they're only 4 points off the European positions and have been a very difficult team to beat. Gyökeres with the first little bit of closing down there on James Hill, one of the Bournemouth centre-backs. So the running well and truly underway. A season-long marathon is now a sprint to the finish. Arsenal have been in control for most of the campaign. The question now is, can they see it through, starting with this game against Bournemouth? And you can feel the tension inside the stadium, even though the fans, despite the pleas this week, didn't get here until virtually kick-off.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge game for Arsenal. They arrived this game feeling a little bit better about themselves. Discovered a bit of that spirit in midweek, didn't they? Mislaid that recently in those cup games, certainly, but Bournemouth will be no pushover here, and they'll know that they can affect the crowd if they have that energy we know they can have.
Really bang in the face for the Bournemouth number 9, Evan Nilsson, who's just told Michael Oliver that he's going to be okay, might just need a second or two.
I think it was a challenge with Gabriel, his arm across the front of his face. Saw one.
So Arsenal unbeaten in 8 in the Premier League. They've won their last 4. The wobbles have been in cup matches. Bournemouth haven't lost a league game since Arsenal beat them on January the 3rd. But they found wins harder to get. They've actually drawn their last 5 and 7 of their last 10. But they are confident, and had they not dropped so many points from winning positions this season, the league position would be even better. Yeah,
I mean, they showed resilience, but they just haven't had that extra edge to win games. At first, I think it was lack of confidence. Now they've just got a belief building. The unbeaten run.
I think, you know, Lucy, there's a couple of fascinating battles out there today. Ryan against Lewis Skelly, and then also Jimenez, who's got to deal with Martinelli. So I think there's little cameos all over the pitch today that are fascinating.
I'll be interested to see where they get the creativity from. Ødegaard's a big loss. He hasn't played too much recently, but...
Oh,
Gyökeres, who can have a run at Senesi for the first time. And that went out. Eagle-eyed assistant right on the spot. Of Arsenal's last 7 games, only one's been in the Premier League, and while they've had the League Cup final, an FA Cup quarter-final, a Champions League game to play as well, it's the first game for Bournemouth for more than 3 weeks since they drew against Manchester United. So the circumstances coming into the match vastly different for the 2 sets of players.
Interesting battle. I mean, Lewis Skelly's not really established himself in the side. I tend to think he'll be doing a lot more defending and probably staying tact in that back 4. Just keep an eye on Ryan, because he'll be a tough customer to deal with.
It's only the 2nd Premier League match that Miles Lewis Skelly started this season. He's in there despite the fact that Hincapie's on the bench. So Noni Madueke is on the Arsenal right with Bukayo Saka, and it breaks here to Evan Nilsson. Ball played in towards Junior Krupi. There's a lot of life in the final third here for Bournemouth when they put it together.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Tavernier's playing on this left-hand side, which means Krupi will go in behind Evan Nielsen. They are looking to just try and trap high. They know that
kanan yang cuma ada perubahan. Misalnya Timber ganti Ben White.
With Rice on here to Ben White, who's an England player once again. William Saliba to Noni Madueke. This is Gabriel. Trying to get Martinelli away down that side, and Jimenez, the young Spaniard, got across there. Scott right in front of the Bournemouth supporters over there did quite well to find a bit of space, and I think he thought on that side Jimenez that might well have been a Bournemouth throw-in, but it's been given Arsenal's way. The Bournemouth fans who are here today saw their team win here last season. They actually did the double last season over Arsenal. And when they played this season, Arsenal won at the Vitality in January. And that victory last season, the only time that Bournemouth have won a match here against Arsenal.
They were impressive. I mean, I look at Arsenal and a couple of the key creators are missing. Ødegaard, Eze, a lot of emphasis on what Havertz does, Madueke down that right-hand side as well. Because Bournemouth will defend well.
So the first set piece today for Arsenal. Arsenal, the team that scores the most goals from set pieces, against the team that concedes the most from these situations. And the whistle blown there for the foul on James Hill. It's always a distinct advantage for Arsenal, Lucy, when they get a set piece against pretty much anybody, but in the circumstances today, Bournemouth have got the worst record of keeping them out.
Yeah, I just think they haven't got the stature of some sides, have they, to deal with. You look all over the pitch, there's a couple of big lads, but the rest of them, you look at Arsenal physically. In recent years, the recruitment has that sort of size.
Petrovic was just encouraged to be a little bit quicker from the Arsenal supporters and eventually from the referee Michael Oliver as well. So this is a chance for Arsenal to extend the lead at the top to 12 points. Manchester City in London tomorrow at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea. I'm not necessarily sure though at this stage that anything that Arsenal do changes the way that Pep Guardiola sees it, because I suspect he's worked out he's got to win every game anyway.
Absolutely. Just need to try and get 3 points each game. It's tough, but Arsenal playing first, see if they can use that to their advantage.
This is Ryan by Ryan Christie. Intercepted there for Arsenal by Saliba. Quickly on the scene then was Truffert, who's having a really good first season as the replacement for Milos Kerkez at Bournemouth. Senesi's pass to Evan Nielsen. That's going to be an Arsenal goal kick.
Well, they'll go forward as quickly as they can. They'll try and look to put it in that space either side of the centre-backs. Well, we're not happy because just give the ball away in a promising position.
Heavy touch there from Raya, but he got the ability to get it out to White, although his touch put him under pressure straight away from Tavernier. Ben White, just caught there by Krupi. The referee considered playing on, but decided to give Arsenal the free kick, which is sent over there towards Martinelli by Declan Rice. There's an example of the strength of Ryan. I mean, he's just not a winger that's got speed. I mean, he's got size as well.
Yeah, he's a bit like a centre-forward, but can play like a winger and really sort of dangerous for Bournemouth. Hit the ground running. Two of them to stop him.
Truffert battling down here with Madueke. It's a bit of help from Ben White in the end, and then William Saliba.
The importance of winning duels all over the pitch for Arsenal if they're going to get on top in this game, because Bournemouth will fight. They've got legs in midfield. They'll work hard.
Left reaction dulu. Thank you sama penonton.
Hai guys.
Tapi lagi deloi. Kacau ini. Garan.
Declan Rice.
Dulu aku tak biar lagi.
Havertz. Free kick conceded there by Senesi. Just left a little bit of a calling card on his way past.
Dia tak potong deh.
He's already bouncing around down there, Arteta.
Tapi suara knock on direct ayo.
body use to great effect by Hill.
James Hill, since he's been playing in that centre-back position for Bournemouth, a really good partnership with Senesi. They beat him with those sort of runs.
Because Tavernier. It's an Arsenal team that's done their bit to this point. They're the league's top scorers with 61 goals and the team with the best defensive record as well. But they've still got to hold their nerve against a Manchester City team that's seemingly more than for the task and playing its best football towards the back end of the season. Christie, Senesi, and now Hill. Yes, with a decent run, Tavernier helps it on. Here's Trufair. He's got a few in the box here. Nelson's in there, Ryan's got in there too. Senesi's pass towards Tavernier, headed down towards Evan Nielsen. Gabriel effective enough back there for Arsenal.
Yeah, they don't leave many spaces, Arsenal, the way that they defend. It's usually a 4-4-2, but just drop back into the back line there. Wide players, Madueke. Difficult to find the space to get a ball through.
Gyökeres, a bit too much of that to Hill.
He's following him, Hill, isn't it?
Still with the majority of the ball in the early stages, as you'd expect. It's 10 minutes though when they've not caused a problem for Petrovic in the Bournemouth goal. It is the kind of day where you feel the longer it goes before Arsenal score, the more the tension ramps up in here.
I mean, I do think I watched the Southampton game and though they made changes, that defensively they didn't look as solid, attack-wise not as creative. It can just look predictable if you don't have those sort of creating the variety in attack.
Pertandingan memasuki menit 10. Arsenal sementara tetap unggul dalam position football.
Declan Rice quickly on the scene for Arsenal, but so was Ryan on that side. Junior Krupi. Scott. Petrovic saw something. One thing that does bode well, it's a game that tends to provide goals. The last 16 meetings have provided 52, which is, even by my dodgy maths, more than 3 a match. 5 at the Vitality Stadium and the 3-2 Arsenal win when they played each other in January. So they do tend to be open.
Yeah, Bournemouth games normally do, apart from the 2 0-0s they've had in the last few games. Usually Bournemouth games equal goals, so hopefully.
It's the Bournemouth captain Christie. It's got Madueke running back. Madueke's going to get the free kick, even though he was slightly over-egging it.
Bournemouth just playing with the ease that you would expect from a team that are comfortable in the Premier League, that have on an unbeaten run.
It's a real emphasis today on just how strong this Arsenal squad is. When you think there's no Saka, so they play Madueke, there's no Ødegaard, so they play Havertz. Lack of strength in this Arsenal group, and there's no lack of strength here. Gyökeres, who pulls it back. Jimenez came across effectively. Martinelli was tapping, but that's the best we've seen from Arsenal so far.
It's a good combination down that right-hand side. Gyökeres getting himself in behind, couldn't make anything of it, but it's positive.
It's just livened the crowd up a wee bit as well. So Martinelli is the second top scorer for Arsenal with 11 goals, but only one of them have been in the Premier League. It was an important goal. It was the equaliser against Manchester City earlier in the season, but he scored 10 of them in the cup competitions and the Champions League. Just provide real pace out there on the left-hand side.
Gyökeres in that forward position is Zubimendi and Rice behind. It's a little bit different to when Ødegaard plays.
Saliba's presence was enough there against Tavernier. There's Gabriel.
Kayak dapat berarti nomor 10 deh.
Okay, was helped out there by Lewis Skelly. He was nice and sharp to the ball.
Maka bisa take on.
Martinelli.
Main crossing
There's too much
saja.
on that.
It's good play, Lewis Skelly. That'll do his confidence. Just really aware of the fact that he needs to get in there quickly, otherwise it'd be an opportunity for Bournemouth.
Havertz. Not Ben White. Just moved aside there by Senesi, which meant he couldn't get a great deal of pace on the cross. Tavernier now looking to try and sneak away from Ben White down here. He got away from Zubimendi as well. Now Scott's got it. For the first time in the match here, Ryan can set his sights on Lewis Skelly. And he goes now to Krupi, and that's good defended by Gabriel. Really calm in the circumstances there, Gabriel.
Yeah, I mean the reliance that they need on the two centre-backs for Arsenal now how strong they are together, but Skelly tracked well.
There's Rice. Victor Gyökeres. It's a good footing by Hill. Space now for Christie. Bournemouth is seeing more of the ball after Arsenal had it for the first 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, Arteta's talking about not having the weight of that pressure on them. Certainly, Bournemouth don't have any sort of pressure on them, and you can tell. I think it's just from the crowd, really. Sometimes when you're at home and the crowd.
Iya semua tapi burik. Coba ini.
So that's his pass. It's Christie. That's a good ball in for Trufair, and they're going to be stretched here, Arsenal. It's
Great goal!
And Junior Krupi scores.
Arsenal kebobolan, boom.
On Boxing Day in 2019.
Debut.
That's his pass. It's Christie. That's a good ball in for Trufair, and they're going to be stretched here, Arsenal. It's gone right the way through, and Junior Krupi scores. Well, there's a turn up for the books. There's a twist in the title race. Barely a flicker from the Bournemouth manager, but the Bournemouth supporters celebrating. And it's an early problem here for Mikel Arteta.
Well, it's actually the run from Trufair that caused the ball to be played into him. It's a terrific run from the left back for Bournemouth. An inquisition going on, but just watch Trufair where he starts that run. Starts the run and sees the ball in there. It's a terrific ball in there, and then Arsenal always on the back foot. That's unfortunate. That's a little bit lucky in terms of Bournemouth, but it's a positive move. Now let's see how Arsenal react.
Well, he's having a fantastic season, isn't he, Junior Krupi? That's 10 goals now in the Premier League. He scored in both matches against Arsenal. They recruit so well, they know they've got to sell players, and he's another one that they found, and he wasn't going to miss from there. And it's a big goal in the context of what the Premier League table looks like, and for Bournemouth as well, because they've got a real chance to play in Europe for the first time in club history next season, if they can finish the season well. And they've got the lead here, a ground where they won at for the first time in their history last season, and whatever pressure was on Arsenal at kick-off has just gone off.
Absolutely, it's about players stepping up now, getting themselves on the ball, not panicking. They won't panic, that's for sure, but just makes the job that little bit harder this afternoon.
So that's the table as it stands. The gap is 9 points, but of course Manchester City have got the 2 games in hand. They play against Chelsea tomorrow, and then next Sunday they play against Arsenal at the Etihad. So it's tightened up. It's not the only thing that's tightened up in here, I'll tell you.
Great ball from Christie as well, from the run from Trufair. Yeah, he got a little bit of luck. And the deflection from Saliba was positive in behind.
It's also worth making the point, we're approaching 19 minutes here, Bournemouth leading 1-0, they're nervous already, the supporters, but they've not tested Petrovic yet. Everything's been played in front of Bournemouth's goalkeeper.
Just a little bit of sleep on this right-hand side for Arsenal, allowed Trufair, they run into the box.
I'll tell you what, Lucy, there are murmurings in here already. So he just got his legs closed in time. Scott runs into Rice, who got the ball. It's a good tackle by Arsenal's captain today. Here's Gyökeres, and back there was Jimenez. And this is the first Arsenal corner today. 16 goals they've got from corners in the Premier League, the joint most in a single season for any Premier League club. And if you widen it out to all competitions, they've scored 24 from corners. So this is a real opportunity for them against a team that don't defend situations like this particularly well. There you go, confirmation, 16 in the Premier League alone, and Rice out there to take it. It's a good one, and it's onto the roof of the net from Havertz.
What a ball that is. I mean, the delivery is probably one of the main reasons why they're so good from set pieces. Rice put it right on the hot spot. Havertz gets himself on it, but it's underneath it. It's a chance.
It's a poor pass by Senesi. Only he knows. I mean, even if he'd have got it towards him, it was still the wrong pass.
A couple of those, one from each team, I think, as well as Zubimendi one to White.
Flicked on there by Havertz, and that's a bit of a waste. Now, don't forget we've got a double header from Serie A tomorrow as the title race in Italy continues to heat up. Parma against Napoli, 1:45 on TNT Sports 2, and Como against the title favourites Inter from 7:30, and that's on TNT Sports 1. And of course you can watch all of the coverage being streamed on HBO Max as well.
I just feel like just need a bit more from Arsenal, a bit more energy in that final third. He's like a jack in the box on the side, he always is, but let's just build up.
Scott looking to get the other side of Lewis Skelly, who defended it well. That's Kai Havertz. Martinelli's on the run, and Jimenez didn't get it. Gyökeres in the middle, Madueke's in there as well, but Hill defended stoutly on that side. Ryan with a little pass. Now here's the goal scorer, Junior Krupi. They're playing with absolutely no pressure and absolutely no fear, Bournemouth, at the moment.
Yeah, as I said earlier, it's... And then there's only Gyökeres in the box when the cross comes across from Martinelli as well, and Madueke's behind. It's like a bit wary of Bournemouth when they win the ball back.
It's their best ever unbeaten run as a top-flight side, 11 matches. They draw the majority of them, but they've been really tough to beat. They've not lost a match in the Premier League since Arsenal beat them in January. Just tell him one or two to simmer down a bit, isn't he, Declan Rice?
Yeah, absolutely. Just relax, and you know, they've just got to ignore what's going on around them and just play the way that they play Arsenal. But pressure is a funny old thing.
Termasuk the best squad yang dilatih Arteta sejak datang ke Arsenal lah. Paling apik ya.
Christie's pass encouraging Tavernier to run, but the pace when it takes it through to Raya.
Kedalaman cukup bagus.
Pass that is from the Arsenal goalkeeper. Havertz on towards Martinelli, that one's not so good.
He just took out 5 Bournemouth players with that pass. Raya was brilliant. Just wasted the opportunity.
Ini memang Liga Inggris dapatlah
It's the better
Udah
of
lama.
Scott.
kuasa gelar.
Selesi's gone across there with Gyökeres, but that leaves the box empty. And they're going to get the free kick.
There's one a few of those runs. It's about getting something. As soon as he leaves the box, then got to put bodies in there, Arsenal. Because make sure that he gets that free kick, and another opportunity now for Arsenal to get themselves back on level terms.
An extreme close-up of Junior Krupi from Michael Oliver's camera.
Looked like he was complaining about something there.
So Declan Rice out there to take it. The delivery usually extremely good from the Arsenal captain. It's deep towards Gabriel, who wins his header, but they're quicker to react. It was Truffert with the clearance.
Tarik ke tengah.
Moni Madueke.
Biasanya set up yang ngono iku deh. Pojokan di
Tia
pas.
Tavernier, and he's just overrun it. TNT Sports has now moved to its new streaming home on HBO Max, where you can also find Emmy award-winning medical drama The Pit. You can catch up with season 1 with brand new episodes of season 2, now streaming every week. There's Gabriel winning his header. Second ball picked up by Tavernier, and he was caught there by Zubimendi, but it's going to be a throw-in, nothing more than that. That's a nice pass, wasn't it, from Scott, which sets Jimenez away. And then in turn, Ryan, who can take on Lewis Skelly and play back, and Krupi was there again. That's an important block by Gabriel.
Terrific block from Gabriel. I think it hit the side of his face.
Ryan against Lewis Skelly again. Jimenez went in towards Krupi. It wasn't a bad pass in actual fact.
Like they're enjoying themselves, Bournemouth. They look like quite happy to be here, just playing that fluid football, getting themselves forward quickly. Did well there, Gabriel.
So he's on a list now. 10 goals in a Premier League season, debut Premier League season for a teenager. They're chasing down Robbie Keane and Robbie Fowler. Saliba's header in there for Arsenal. Truffert looking to get away from Zubimendi. He's also only the third teenager to score in both games against Arsenal in the same Premier League season. He's on a list that includes Kevin Gallen and Wayne Rooney, I'm reliably told.
He's certainly a positive player, dribbler, but obviously finish as well. Does help. Good one today.
It's amazing though, Lucy, they're all there, these potential stars, if you can find them, and some clubs are better than others at actually finding them.
Bournemouth do that, and then they recover when they lose them as well, for big money.
So the long throw from Hill, and a comfortable catch for Raya, and a very speedy release to Declan Rice. That's towards Gyökeres, and that's well done by Christie. I must say there's a really nice look about Bournemouth so far. A really strong 28 minutes by them.
Yeah, they've got a good shape, good back four, two centre midfielders work hard, and then they've got a bit of talent of gamecraft in those forward areas as well. And Evan Nielsen, the target runner as well. Arsenal just need a bit more from the connector, Havertz. And when he gets the ball, it's just a little bit loose in possession when they get in those areas of the pitch to connect up to the top of the pitch.
Got Eze on the bench. He's come back from injury a little bit quicker than they were expecting him to, but clearly not quite ready to start the game today, but he is available. It's a little bit late from Madueke. There he is. Having a really good first season with Arsenal. Had a good goal-scoring record as well as a Crystal Palace player against Bournemouth.
It's the thing when you've not got those creative players, him and Ødegaard fit, they're reliant on runners. If Bournemouth are defending well and you're not keeping possession right, then it's not a positive outcome.
I'll tell you what I would be interested in would be the half-time reaction if Arsenal are behind. Because you can hear the murmurings around us. I mean, it's supposed to be expected because of the nerves, but Mitrovic still hasn't made a save 29 minutes in. They've not been able to generate any sustained pressure on the Bournemouth defence. The only real attacks that Arsenal have had been to try and get Gyökeres away. See if they can do something different here with Madueke. Get the free kick against him. He was just having a little nibble. I think he got the ball relatively fairly, but he was having a pull at Madueke at the same time.
Yeah, it's better though from Madueke in terms of taking a player on 1v1, trying to create something. Just had a little bit more, just had a nibble at the end after he'd gone past him. But again, when not in the best of form starting this game, Arsenal have not really raised it. Kind of set piece, get them back in it. Platform to build from.
So when it goes from Declan Rice, and that's behind.
So he's usually so reliable, it just adds a little bit more tension. But they'll keep going.
You kind of look at this Bournemouth situation and say that had they been a bit more clinical in matches, they'd be in a much stronger position than they currently are. I mean, despite this unbeaten run, they've only won 4 of their last 22 in the Premier League, and they've dropped 18 points when they've had the lead, so they've been quite susceptible in situations like this, and that's the reason why they're not higher up the table.
They don't put teams away when they get themselves 1-0 up, perhaps, and then just relax a little bit, or don't defend as well as they should do, and just let teams into it.
Rice's pass, Truffert was in there for Bournemouth, and then quickly Evan Ilson. There's Tavernier. Christian made a good run into the box. Tavernier goes himself, plays it onto Ryan, and then that's away by Zubimendi. They look dangerous when they get around the box. Bournemouth a lot more dangerous than Arsenal.
I mean, what's happening is that they're just coming out on top in the duels. Arsenal not getting close when Bournemouth have the ball.
Martin Zubimendi. Crowd wants him to pass it forward. They want to see more urgency from their team. There's a foul from Jimenez. Remember, if he gets a booking today, he faces 2 games out. He's been shown 9 yellows already, the young Spaniard out there.
He's not happy with the ball into him. Zubimendi had a little bit of a go then when he got up.
See whether Rice can get a better delivery than the previous one. He's in here to Martinelli. Brazilian winger up against Brazilian winger. Ryan was the defender. Rice with a chance to shoot and hit one in, and that takes a deflection, I think, off Ryan Christie, and fitters behind for the corner.
That's why it's always worth an effort. Rice just trying to take it on himself. Doesn't really have the power. And then Nielsen stuck a foot out. It's been a slog so far for Arsenal this first half.
So the corner to be taken by Noni Madueke. Gabriel on the move, as he always is, in the middle. He's the primary target. Went instead towards Zubimendi. Gabriel gets there. They're appealing for a penalty. Oh, he's given it! He's given
Tampaknya terjadi insiden.
It was Christie, I think it was.
But it came at him at point blank
Goal.
range. I think he's
Tata
probably got the
penalty.
arm though in an unnatural
Yeah,
position.
he
That's
had-
probably what's gone against
If
him.
you just have a look now at Christie's arm, his arm's right up.
Well,
That's why he's given it.
You'd also say the point though that when
Yeah,
you stretch
yeah,
like
yeah.
that, your arm does go there.
Yeah.
But I mean, they've got the idea of what a natural and unnatural position is.
Yeah, handball law as well is difficult in the interpretation, and Mirala's just making that point to the fourth official. But when you've got your arm in the air like that, the distance is quite short, but Arsenal breathe a sigh of relief.
tetap Michael Oliver tetap kukuh dengan pendiriannya tanpa melihat VAR.
So Arsenal are perfect from the penalty spot in the Premier League this season. Victor Gyökeres has scored 2, Bukayo Saka scored the other one. The last penalty they had was actually taken by Havertz, who's now given the ball to Gyökeres. That was against Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League, but it is going to be their leading scorer. A man who's got 6 goals in his last 8 Premier League matches, and he's up against Georgi Petrovic. Big moment this for Arsenal, with 10 minutes to go in the first half.
Jebret.
Penalty, under pressure,
Iya
dispatched
saja.
perfectly by Victor Gyökeres. It's
Terhebak
Arsenal
ya,
and Bournemouth one.
Benar.
Just when you needed a simple, powerful penalty, Gyökeres stands up, and you have to say this Arsenal
Skor
crowd, I think
1-1.
he's more relief than anything else. Christie's
Disamakan oleh
making the
Gyökeres.
point that
Lewat tendangan
when it hit his arm,
penalti.
Arsenal will not care. They needed something
Lewat
to
gesekan
get
voucher.
themselves back in this game, and they got a
Gesekan
little
voucher
bit of
dari
a
titik
step up.
putih.
But Gyökeres put that away with aplomb.
Cannot say those. I don't care who you are. Excellent penalty. 18 goals now in all competitions. Arsenal's first shot on target. 35 minutes it took, and now they're back on terms, having been nowhere near their best in this first half.
That's what it means. See Raya's reaction to it. He knows that his team were just having a little bit of trouble getting into the game. Now this place has come alive.
The one point I'd make about giving a penalty for something like that is when it's that close, you've got no opportunity to actually move your hand, so you can't do anything to avoid it, which I always think infuriates the player that's penalised.
Which I think is what Bournemouth were complaining about. What's unnatural, you've got to sort of stretch out, but I've seen them given so many times like that.
So 1-1. Let's see what the next twist in today's plot is. He's a lot happier now, the Arsenal manager, Mikel Arteta. What they can't shy away from, though, Arsenal, is despite the fact they're back on terms, they've got to play a lot better than this.
Yeah, I mean, midweek they got a great result, but they were quite conservative. Obviously, it was an away performance, but it's just a little bit of zip missing, isn't there, in the final third, and maybe a few nerves, trepidation about where they are in the league. Hopefully, that goal there will dissolve some of it.
Free kick here for the foul on Evan Nilsson. Scott is over the free kick for Bournemouth, who aren't the biggest team by any stretch of the imagination. The centre-backs Hill and Senesi have gone in there. It's too close to David Raya. Oh, Scully running across, Jimenez beating to it but didn't deal with it. On it goes down to Gyökeres. Senesi with the challenge. He says he got the ball, and agrees and says it's an Arsenal corner.
It's a good challenge, but just caught Gyökeres with the follow-through. Just got a touch to it, didn't he? That's more positive, good from Luis Skelly as well. Intercepts again. Yeah, just a last ditch, wasn't it? It came up off him.
Yeah. Got a firmer touch than we initially thought based on the angle that it went off his toe, but it's a good opportunity this for Arsenal.
Turn the screw, Arsenal. They've got a bit of momentum in the game.
Gabriel being marked here by Hill, and that's a good catch by Petrovic.
However Arsenal play, I don't often see Declan Rice put in a less than sort of 8 out of 10 performance, though he just keeps going. Those sort of nerves don't affect him.
It's the 62nd Premier League goal that Arsenal have scored this season, 2 more than Manchester City, who are second on the list. It's a foul by Krupi on Zubimendi.
Actually, Zubimendi missed the ball. They both missed the ball. Tries to swipe through, bang into each other.
Gyökeres losing out. Hill to Truffert. Then Christie, that's nicely done in a tight space by Bournemouth. Evan Nilsson can now get onto this. And hit the shot. David Raya down to save it. Zubimendi runs into Christie, who's won the ball back. Alex Scott. Not sure whether he crossed it or went for the shot there, Scott. Made a mess of it, though, Arsenal, didn't they?
Still, they do get bodies in there, Bournemouth, and that's why they're always a threat, playing with a little bit of freedom. Just got underneath it, didn't it, Scott?
There's Andoni Iraola. It's his 200th game as a manager in the top flight today. It's all about the Basque region of Spain and the respective technical areas. 2 men born in the same region of Spain, 3 months apart. So their careers ran alongside each other for quite a while through junior football, etc.
Just a bit of a disconnect between the defensive unit that's solid for Arsenal and the attacking unit, attacking front four.
At least there's a disconnect between those in the seats and those on the pitch, because you can tell they want Arsenal to play the ball forward quicker, particularly Zubimendi. You can feel it all around us.
They haven't got into the flow, so they don't want to waste the ball forward. That's why they just need to take a few more risks, but it's not what Arteta wants. He wants them to have control of the game.
Sementara ini sayap-sayap Arsenal dimatikan oleh back-backnya Bournemouth. Belum ada tusukan-tusukan yang berarti. Biasanya
delicate from Christie. Free kick to Bournemouth.
Madwi iki sering tusuk-tusukan.
So Senesi's gone up there. Scott was just receiving instructions from Bournemouth's set-piece coach. It's clipped in towards Ryan, headed away by Kai Havertz. Ben White. That's the ball with throw. Junior Krupi. Into the final 2 minutes of the first half. Junior Krupi with the Bournemouth goal and Victor Gyökeres with the Arsenal penalty. That's an interesting one up towards Evan Nilsson. Krupi now gets on it, looking to make room for the shot. Zubimendi was physical but fair, according to Michael Oliver. expecting 2 additional minutes here at the end of the half.
There's just too many Arsenal players playing below the level of the best one, Bryce. It's the issue that they've had, a bit of a disconnect in the units. Bournemouth playing freely.
Sounds painful, that, Luke, when you've got disconnecting your units.
You don't want that.
So 1-1. Arteta animated, Arsenal sluggish. Bournemouth giving as good as they've got so far. No space over there for Saliba, but he's so calm in possession.
He makes good decisions. Saliba, unfortunate with the deflection for the Bournemouth goal. But I'd like to see them, those two and Raya behind in your team.
So they've not got a great deal from Havertz in the first half, Arsenal, nor Zubimendi in central midfield either.
But, no, that's what I'm saying, the connection. You know, you've got to link the play. Odegaard gets a lot of stick, but because he gets on the ball a lot, so therefore he'll have a loose pass every so often, but he connects the two units.
So Scott to take the latest Bournemouth free kick, moving towards the final few seconds of the half. It's a good one in as well, and Hill was attacking it. Any kind of touch from him would have been interesting. Senesi was in the region also.
Terrific ball. It's just waiting for someone to get on the end of it. Raya watches it because he knows any sort of touch.
Seemed to be being manhandled there by Tavernier, but the game's carried on. Krupi can chase it.
Prabowo meridoi kok.
It's a graphic there, 52% last 5 minutes, that shows you that Bournemouth haven't been unduly bothered by the Arsenal equaliser.
I don't think they've given the ball away as much as Arsenal either.
Back to Gyökeres, Ben White, Noni Madueke, good foot in from Christie. And Zubimendi. White gets there ahead of Trufair, but the back heel was reacted to well by Noni Madueke. He's now gone down and he's going to get the free kick, and I don't think the Bournemouth players felt there was a great deal of contact there.
Yeah, he did well, Madueke there actually. Poor pass from Zubimendi, but he just managed to make something of it between Ben White and Madueke. Now they've got a chance right at the end.
It's as though Senesi might just have tripped himself, hence why the collision came. What a chance this is for Arsenal right at the end of the half. Last chance of the half, Declan Rice over it. Mikel Arteta working out what he's got to say when he gets them in there. Teased in by Rice into a good area. That's a good header by Hill. And there's half-time. So applause from the Arsenal fans as Mikel Arteta races down the tunnel. Junior Krupi with his 10th goal of the season, putting Bournemouth ahead. All of his goals scored in the Premier League. The Arsenal equaliser came about when Christie was adjudged to have handled it. He's handed an unnatural position. And Victor Gyökeres, deadly from the spot. 18 goals in all competitions, 7 goals in his last 9 games in the Premier League. They've stuttered a bit, Arsenal, but they're level at the break. Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 1.
How's he found himself in this position? Got to say, that is magic.
Sell your car on Motorway, sponsors of the Premier League on TNT Sports.
The UEFA quarter-finals.
Bring the desire.
The belief.
Listen to the
purpose.
Only then will your story continue. The UEFA quarter-finals on TNT Sports.
9 Lux cards meal, please.
Janet?
McDonald's cards. Over £4 million in cash prizes to be won and free food in every pack.
Smile so big that your eyes crinkle back in your face. Laugh so loud.
When everyone's home and caning the internet, EE Broadband can keep up. More people are choosing EE Broadband. Switch to the UK's fastest growing broadband provider.
Imagine needing a tradesperson. And suddenly, reviews appear. Craig did a brilliant job. Skills are checked. With MyBuilder, it's real, and you can choose to connect with the tradesperson you want. That's why we're trusted by homeowners. MyBuilder, a reliable way to hire a tradesperson.
Of course I did. Good point.
Hey, it's me, your dry skin. I demand CeraVe Facial Moisturising Lotion. The #1 daycare SPF that locks in moisture up to 10 minutes deep. UV protection with 3 essential ceramides plus MVE technology, formulated to help strengthen my barrier. CeraVe, developed with dermatologists, demanded by skin.
Happy birthday again. Here's cake and some friends. But what if we actually celebrate Julia and her love of snacks, or her elegant style, and the home she gave Alfie with gifts from Etsy?
This year at Amazon, we're increasing the electric vehicles used for deliveries across Europe to over 10,000. We're delivering change where it matters. On your doorstep.
The review says, I've never seen anything more stupid.
tremendous. That ball from Ryan Christie is brilliant. Truffert, okay, it takes a bit of a deflection. And we said Krupi is a really good finisher. But look at that ball. This ball is absolutely fantastic. And you just see Madueke and Ben White lose sight of it. But this ball, to break the lines, and the weight of it is what creates the goal. It's an absolute fabulous attack from Bournemouth. And to be fair, Linz, they started the game the better. They look fresher, crisper, and their press has been so good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It started to feel really tense inside the stadium here. The atmosphere very, very subdued. But then Arsenal, Martin, were awarded a penalty which can completely change the mood in here. And it was for a Ryan Christie handball from Gabriel's shot. His arm wasn't in an unnatural position, did you feel? Because he's so close.
I feel the player's unlucky in this situation, and I do feel it's a bit of a gift from an Arsenal point of view. You know, it's never really, it doesn't matter if it's deliberate handball. Is it in a natural position? I don't know how they define that. But look, you take it when it comes along, and you have to say, look, the arm is away from his body. So the ref gives the referee the opportunity to give that penalty. Arsenal are lucky, but look, this was emphatic. The way that it...
What a penalty that is.
Oh.
Almost the perfect pen, Owen.
Yeah, I mean, Harry Kane-esque. The one thing I would say is I thought the only two players that played to their normal level was probably David Raya and Declan Rice. Brilliant pen from Gyökeres, even though he didn't have a lot of touches. But Arsenal, they need to do so much more to overcome this Bournemouth team.
Did that show, Martin, you need to be lucky as well as good in a title race?
Yeah, maybe lucky Arsenal applies for today's game. You'll take that. But, you know, if we look at Truffert, for instance, as an example, he's so fired up. They're winning all the duels at the moment, and I'm sure Arteta is in there now trying to get the troops back on it because they need to lift it. If you want to be champions, no one's going to give it to you. Bournemouth have shown that today.
Yeah, they are back level, Arsenal, but they will have to be better in the second half. It was a sweet start for the Cherries here with Junior Krupi opening the scoring. Arsenal level through Gyökeres' penalty, but Mikel Arteta has been a bag of energy on the touchline. He knows what's at stake in this second half.
TNT Sports, powered by BYD.
How would you like to pay?
Pick a card, any card, and pay. Or pick the PayPal debit card. You can get 10 times the points with their new rewards program, PayPal Plus.
Oh.
That's magical.
Hey, you can spend those points at millions of places online.
That's smart. And it's free. Sorry.
God, I hate magicians.
I'm sorry. That's not supposed to happen.
The safe way to pay just got more rewarding.
This material's slippery. No!
Pay smarter. PayPal.
A little clutter can take up a lot of space. Sell fashion, kids' toys, sports gear and more with no fees on Vinted. Don't use it? Sell it.
New Grande Panda, available to test drive now.
Spring awakens with a sea of blue florals, their refreshing scent filling the air. If only you could smell it.
Well, now you can, thanks to the outdoor freshness of Bolt. Just breathe it all in. Bolt, outdoor freshness that lasts and lasts. Always keep away from children.
Beans, beans, beans.
Reese Hines.
That it does, dear. That it does.
Because I'm worth it. You are.
Have you had yours?
I've had mine, Mum. Love it.
Hater. Love it.
When you need low prices on brands you love, every little
TUI gives you more. More outfit choices with 20 kilograms luggage allowance as standard. More hotels designed around what you love, like that swim up suite. More race you to the bottom water parks on site. More, ooh, that looks good. More peace of mind with 24/7 support. And more ways to book, on app, in store or online. You book it, TUI sort it. Atoll and Abta protected.
It's showtime. The local derby, so the Brentford games, that means that extra bit more to the fans.
In form, Fulham have their eyes on the top six. Brentford chasing a European dream.
We're going to put teams under pressure.
Really crucial game in the race for European football.
This is what we do. Pedro for Chelsea.
The mentality is different. The atmosphere is more positive now.
Game on.
The pressure on in the Premier League.
See, if you're going to go for it, you've got to go for it.
She's seen enough here. Absolutely magic stuff. Sell your car on Motorway, sponsors of the Premier League on TNT Sports.
Welcome back. The second half of Arsenal-Bournemouth is to come. It's 1-1 at half-time, but a reminder that HBO Max is the exclusive streaming home of Game of Thrones. Plus, you can watch all episodes of The Night of the Seven Kingdoms and House of the Dragon stream wall-to-wall Westeros on HBO Max. Well, Bournemouth, the Premier League's draw specialist, level with Arsenal at the break. It's been very edgy in here at times when Bournemouth took the lead, Martin. What do the Gunners need to do to get this crowd up for the second half?
Well, they play with freedom. You know, Supermendy is an example of that. Just hesitating occasionally, but, you know, feed the front players. Martinelli, we've hardly seen him in the game. He will have to do more because the manager, we talked about 38 goals scored from the, goal involvements from the substitutes. Well, it might have to be a sub that comes on today. So make sure you start the second half well.
What about the approach from Bournemouth in this one? Do you expect it to continue in the same manner?
I thought first half Bournemouth were exceptional, well drilled, the pressing, very good on the ball as well. Maybe Arsenal a little bit fatigued from the midweek game, the early kickoff, but they need a better second half. Arsenal, there's a title at stake here. They need a little bit more energy, a little bit more belief in their passing.
They need a win as well, with Manchester City playing tomorrow with a game in hand and that meeting at the Emirates next weekend. The players are out, so let's hand you back to our commentary team, Lucy Ward, and first it's back to you, Darren Fletcher.
Thank you, Lindsay. So Mikel Arteta down there with Gabriel Heinze chatting away. The reality is, at the moment, the Premier League table would be a 10-point lead for Arsenal. Manchester City would have 2 games in hand, and of course the match at the Etihad against Arsenal. So it's a big 45 minutes on the cards, and just on the, to put a bit of context to any potential tiredness that there might be, it's the 53rd match that Arsenal have played in all competitions this season compared to the 34th for Bournemouth. So they've played a lot more football, there's a lot more tread on the tyres. Bournemouth haven't played for 22 days, and in the meantime Arsenal played a League Cup final, they played a Champions League match, and they played an FA Cup game as well, so they've been a lot busier.
I think in that first half you could see that. Show the message at half-time for Arsenal, simple things, keep the ball well, get closer to Bournemouth, better in the duels, that they're coming out second best in those, and be interested to see how long it is before Arteta does make any changes, because he talks about his finishers, the ones who come off the bench and make a difference. 2
teams have managed to get draws here. this season. Manchester City and Liverpool, Manchester United, the only team to beat Arsenal at the Emirates in all competitions. That they scored the most goals in the second half of Premier League matches this season. No changes made by either Mikel Arteta or Andoni Iraola at half-time. It's Kai Havertz. It's a handball that's been given against Arsenal, so free kick here to Bournemouth.
It's just not like he's got up to speed yet. I don't know whether Owen talked about the tiredness from midweek, whether he's just got something in his legs. It's just not quite at his pomp.
So this is ball forward, Ben White's header away by Madueke, but only to Truffert. Saw one or two little glimpses in the first half of Ryan, but not a great deal. Tended to operate a bit more down the left than the right, Bournemouth, in the first half. Senesi, now Christie. Well, here is Ryan up against Miles Lewis-Skelly, starting in the Premier League for just the second time this season. Now Jimenez. Talia's pass back to Truffert. Alex Scott. Sun shining down the Emirates Stadium.
Bournemouth certainly play better in high-tempo games. You know, when they get it, they will move it quicker.
So this is past Gabriel's clearance. Quickly across was Hill to get there ahead of Havertz. I mean, there's a real incentive for Bournemouth to win the match today. If they do, they'll go 9th, and within a point of both Everton and Brentford. They've never played European football in the club's history. A strong finish to the season might just bring them that, because they're kind of knocking on the door, aren't they?
Yeah, they've got the foundation of all those draws in a row. They're unbeaten. Can they get a win? Just kickstart the end of the season for them.
I know there's a big incentive for Arsenal, but there's a big incentive for Bournemouth as well, and we can't overlook that. It's given away by Raya. Complete indecision from the Arsenal goalkeeper.
When he was going to go longer, or so went short to Zubimendi. Not accurate.
It's Bournemouth who have started the half controlling things. They've had all of the ball. Straight to Gabriel. Kai Havertz on towards Victor Gyökeres, but good positional play that by Hill.
我而家都向住呢個執教生涯一步一步上啦，就教緊匈牙利嘅費倫斯華路士。咁今屆喺歐洲賽都見到佢嘅執教嘅能力。亦都逼得好快，同埋佢哋好一致啊！即係壓咗上去中場線啦、後防線啦，繼續跟進壓上去啦，令到呢一層嘅壓迫都係有成效。拉亞再比，咁頭先蘇比文迪嘅拉亞比失之後咧，就佢都係拍自己心口，即係覺得都係自己嘅。咁啊，由蘇比文迪喺後場用花波上嚟。咁啊，仲有啲訪問當中，蘇比文迪就話，其實嚟到之後第一日咧，阿迪達都要求佢喺中場俾出一啲更加具侵略性嘅傳送。托沙似乎同艾斯都準備入嚟嘅。咁蘇比文迪亦都提到，阿迪達對細節嘅要求咧執行啦係好嚴格嘅，包括俾波俾慣用腳嘅要求啦，咁同埋喺攞波之前嘅準備等等啦。 蘇比文迪。馬同亞基，佢又對住杜飛，麥賓維自己隔離幫佢啦。馬同亞基打翻埋大位，吸咗幾下，養咗幾下之後，得個波埋就唔係好夠高啊，新尼斯頂翻走，交俾馬加尼斯頂過嚟都一般啲，杜飛俾上嚟，直線質啦，但係伊雲尼遜都確地啦，都未有咁樣嘅起動住啊，因為可能都知道嗰隊嘅速度贏啦，唔係咁容易。未諗住隊友咧會咁快地俾個直線佢哋走，呢邊睇睇就沉底咁嘅地方埋嚟，分位置俾後嘅些少的琴華先上波省中人嘅，亞歷斯試過做到個攔截。但今日阿仙奴嘅球迷嘅聲勢啦，即係相當犀利啊！即係不斷嘅吶喊。好啦，呢度咧似乎就唔止托沙啦、艾斯啦、杜文都入嚟啦。杜文睇嚟入嚟換馬同亞基可能性係最大啊！位置一樣，大家先睇約基利斯中間嘅機會。薩尼巴啦、哈弗斯都上埋嚟，仲有蘇比文迪。禁區邊呢就有路易斯史基利啦、迪勤懷斯啦。般尼茅夫唔變嘅咧就都係伊雲尼上作為前場嘅第一點。風勢睇嚟都幾大啊！咁啊國球旗咧頭先都搖搖欲墜嘅。可能咧都稍為吹走咗少少個波。咁頭先睇嚟一陣風啦。請埋前柱，打翻落嚟之後咧，睇嚟係龍門球啊！左住白道域打到個波落去對方進攻球嘅位置，再出底線。
應該會換走哈弗斯、馬天尼利同埋馬杜亞基嘅啦，估嘅啫。頭先講直彎入去嘅其實啊，咁就蝦到阿仙奴嘅球員。哈弗斯換走啦，艾斯啦，攻中啦。馬杜亞基頭一頁都講過啦嚇。即係迪勤懷斯、蘇比文迪唔變，中鋒約基利斯都唔變，再前面嗰三個啱啱中間三個換晒啦。哈弗斯、馬天尼利同埋就係馬杜亞基換入艾斯，左邊托沙，右邊就杜文，都幾正路，同埋都感覺到阿迪達喺進攻方面咧，感覺上就收唔到佢想要嘅效果，特別係左右兩邊嘅。馬杜亞基同埋馬天尼利相對嚟講係比較靜。撳掣先嘅咧就係阿仙奴啦，下半場54分鐘嘅時間有掣撳㗎，般尼茅夫。不過班波佢哋睇得好嘅，暫時感覺上體能當然亦都冇乜問題啦。嚟到呢一刻，後防亦都冇乜嘢太大嘅漏洞出現，見到用咗一次換三個。16歲嘅小將英格蘭嘅杜文，今季第4次後備落嚟啦，英超開有齋嘅。佢對沙林頓嗰場足總杯打正選啦，打得唔錯啊，幾有威脅嘅。埋門次數亦都多啦，兼且左右腳都有埋門啦。當然佢更加擅長就喺右手邊咧帶埋中間去到起腳。俾嚟亞歷斯詹美利斯，走一走個波來勢啦，推得唔算太順暢，避一避托沙。左住拍到位嘅長傳，沙尼巴分位置轉埋中間，迪勤懷斯。馬迪達都了解到呢場比賽佢哋嘅製造埋門嘅能力唔算好強，都嘗試換下啲突破點啦，左右兩邊啦。嗱，入咁嘅手嘅壓力都幾大啊呢邊，不過佢都有少少咧，就腳面彈過去右手邊嘅相，因為其實今日般尼茅夫真係逼得好快啊！所以令到佢都要快啲作出決定。我睇個波唔係好就啦，彈過嚟啦。咁但係有呢個角度，其實伊雲尼遜都封咗幾多下㗎。咁真係彈過嚟啦，諗住咁伊雲尼遜啱啱閂到啲就出咗界。可見般尼茅夫嘅壓迫嘅積極咯。同埋下半場呢早10分鐘我哋仍然保持啦前場有咁嘅壓迫啦，搶啲第二點啦。埋門次數因為阿仙奴暫時得5次啦，唔算話好多。般尼茅夫係3次，一場算係大家均勢得嚟，亦都唔係太多攻門嘅比賽。
馬先換入嚟嘅進攻強會唔會成為一個突破點呢？麥拉亞呢次好長嘅直接斬到嚟咧，就咁喺邊緣嘅位置揼一揼地，咁就好似拍到被佢攬埋落嚟啦。咁其實球隊除咗佢係國腳啦，後備嗰位喺拉素季中借過嚟嘅文達斯咧都係希臘國腳嚟嘅。咁所以龍門呢個位咧有2位都係國腳級嘅守門員。詹士希爾省到彈咗過嚟，路斯士基尼特別確比呢邊咧搶到啦，咪邊度亦都有夏恩俾翻埋中間，達芬尼亞、亞歷斯史葛直線呢條線路都唔錯，俾到我哋亞歷斯史葛。咁當然咧就沙利巴亦都跟到過嚟啦。咁大家嘅手部有啲動作啦，沙利巴亦都拉衫啦。咁結果都繼續係街外球衣，咁就詹士希爾睇嚟都會上埋再抌手榴彈。
慢慢等下，阿仙奴有角球戰術，有般尼茅夫都倚重佢哋嘅手榴彈戰術。詹士希爾大手掟入去中間位置，頭槌解圍，呢邊球不着地，清咗前場先啦。見到後備落嚟嘅托沙，恐人啊，幾明顯啊！呢啲經驗啊，可以唔使翻呢啲波都嚇。般尼茅夫就係有一爭歐洲賽啦，但係又冇乜壓力嘅作客嚟到啊！但係阿仙奴當然就想無後顧之憂啦，賽前有9分嘅領先優勢，但係贏唔到和嘅話，係咪完全又好失望呢？令人喺形勢方面係打咗啲折扣嘅啫，又唔係話真係好遠其實。好，依個偷得靚啊！達芬尼亞俾過嚟左邊，第一時間送到埋嚟，遠處追唔到啊！咁啊打得幾放幾靚啊！依家杜飛嚟㗎，
咁所以佢入波就佢交出嚟省到人彈高咗啦。咁但係都嚟自佢嘅傳送咯。咁杜飛亦都今屆喺英超當中係 overlap 跑動最多嘅一位球員啦，有74次嘅呢場比賽之前。我見佢嘅特性啦，同埋即係非常勤於走動，咁拉邊啦去幫隊友。執埋中間轉到身添基士提，咁彈高咗啦，繼續基士提，咁頂到之後確比都好近距離喎，回翻後啦，俾亞歷斯史葛。
哇！你話如果英超係 overlap 最多嘅就位球員，肯定跑步機嗰啲跑爆機嗰啲嚟，一定係好誇張嘅體能。喺英超啊，講緊啊，即係出名嗰個即係球員走動嗰個範圍啊，係好多噶嘛。
喂，同埋睇到佢就即係拉邊啦，即係邊路嗰度幫啦。咁啊，當然亦都有咁嘅自由度，同埋可能斯曼尤嘅離隊啦，咁啊，對於佢呢方面要求會更高添啦。拉雅，咁佢都國際賽期打咗1場嘅國際賽。亞斯，阿仙奴雖然近期比賽都有啲輪換啦，咁啊喺特別足總杯對修咸頓啦。但畢竟近期嘅比賽咁多，強度亦都高。下半場咧，暫時感覺佢哋個速率就唔係好快嘅。咁托沙呢咪再對住亞歷斯詹美利斯，咪有幾下之後，亞歷斯詹美利斯就篤甩喎。呢邊咧就策動呢個反攻，咁差唔多形成一個咧就係短暫嘅4打5嘅局面。我推下咧向邊又得，咁再壓落嚟咧都係食贏咗身位，但係托沙後邊俾壓力佢啦。佢自己都帶咗成半場啦，畢竟。我退出咁大段嘅距離啦，都有啲腳仔遠遠地啦。呢邊咧就唔理咁多，淨艾斯轉過嚟右手邊。
都好睇啊！先講啊，你追完我追翻你轉頭啊，都刺激，冇問題啊！先個波 OK 嘅嚇。特沙，你單計呢一場波啦，睇阿仙奴咧，係喺進攻入波方面咧，係冇乜嘢太大嘅驚喜，可能要靠艾斯啦，一傳或者一射，或者迪勤艾斯嘅中距離施射。咁當然睇埋後備落嚟嘅球員嘅表現啦。暫時般尼茅夫 後衞其實位置啊，整體個架構咧，即係伊拉奧拿好嘢，即係佢帶領呢班波防守冇乜嘢企位啊、面向啊、位置之間嘅錯誤，其實冇乜嘢問題。呢個係有啲保證嘅。即係你話實力唔夠人好嗰啲係另一樣嘢啦嚇，質素啊、實力啊、兵員嗰啲，你單嘅你落場嗰啲啊，即係企位啊嗰啲係好好嘅，做得好清楚。
佢哋差唔多1月尾之後啦，你睇睇個戰績或者表現咧，就佢哋係失波少咗好多，即係佢哋喺12月啊，到1月嘅時候咧，好多大手交易㗎，4-4和曼聯啊，2-2車路士啊，2-3輸俾亞仙奴啊，3-2贏熱刺啊，咁但係到1月尾之後咧，佢哋係平衡咗好多。咁啊，伊拉奧拿都講到嗰一陣咧，佢哋都有調整嗰個打法啦。咁啊，對防守方面亦都係著緊咗啲啦。咁啊，以往佢哋可能會更多地再做多少少嘅前場壓迫，咁啊嗰一陣咧，佢哋開始咧就平衡啲啦，冇下下逼得咁緊要。咁但今場咧，佢哋仍然都好主動啊！咁啊，新尼斯在中間穿到落嚟俾基士睇。咁啊，般尼茅夫因為佢哋個踢法咧喺今季一路落嚟都係啊，繼續好多前場壓迫啦，好進取啦，向前嘅意識好強啦。但嗰一陣咧，佢哋就稍微調整咗啲風格戰術，咁啊令到球隊近期咧反而調翻轉好多0-0啊！我對上嘅5場聯賽有3場0-0，跟埋呢就尾賽路嘅斯基利呢邊咧留一留，咁夏恩再埋嚟，不過有托沙再嚟啦，跟住呢度咧就睇嚟冇吹噃，亦都冇出界，個托沙咧就跌啦，咁啊呢度咧就夏恩又埋嚟逼啦，叫最後尾夏恩因為咧就係托沙喺佢前邊啊，冇辦法啦，佢想起身，佢想快啲起身。咁但係托沙喺佢前邊啦，咁所以一起身一撞咗落去之後咧，就吹罰咗夏恩。
但係好睇嘅地方就係，即係依幾下嘅埋身接觸咧，大家都冇矛嘅，好全心全意去用個波，去追個波、搶個波啊！咁所以都係唔會有啲咩火藥味嘅，總之大家都係踢個波嘅啫。好啦，再諗一諗，用咗1次換人名額，換入3個。咁啊，當然啦，箭頭有加比哲西斯喺度嘅嚇，有後備直傷，未有換人啊！般尼茅夫伊拉奧拿應該打到依家係收貨63分幾，超過1個鐘頭嘅作客賽事嚟到酋長球場，唔容易㗎，知道今季造訪嚟到酋長球場係一件幾困難嘅事，但係唔失禮啊！般尼茅夫暫時打起上嚟啊！蘇比文迪、沙利巴。
Loh, malah disconnect. sedikit terjadi gangguan teknis. Oh, kesalahan teknik guys, sorry guys.
係有啲傷影響住嘅球員。咁布魯之後做翻隊長啦，咁亦都好欣喜地見到佢經歷咗長時間嘅養病之後咧，今日翻嚟嗰個嘅狀況咧就真係比較好翻啦。一球埋先射波手就打咗落交俾馬加尼斯，再次又中人喎。咪轉身啦呢度咧，睇左腳起尾到腳之後撞橫咗之後，亞歷斯詹美斯準備打反擊。咪布魯斯係拉邊啦。咁呢度咧就再推啦，再牙啦，想話過艾斯翻嚟搶得到啦。喂，依家話即刻叫艾斯詹美斯快啲浸翻去啊！後場都幾辛苦啊，艾斯詹美斯起碼啦喺短時間裏邊走兩段啦。呢邊即刻嗱嗱聲轉到過嚟俾阿托沙，想俾唔定喺隔離。杜文亦都入咗嚟啦。蘇比文迪，咁啊大橫再傳過嚟交俾馬加尼斯。而家保陸斯咧暫時就喺偏右嘅位置，泰納亞當斯入中間嘅拍亞歷斯史葛。呢度泰納亞當斯嘅搶截能力啦就更加會強啲。分位置側埋嚟中間，杜飛咧就閂唔到個波㗎。咁但杜文再出啦，右腳彎咗出去龍門後邊。
同對方短時間之內都走咗兩段，都200米㗎啦，差唔多啊，100嚟200米。見到呢邊嘅詹美利斯，大家都有2次嘅中翻射門啊，咁啊，但係阿仙奴比般尼茅夫嘅射門次數多1倍，一隊就8射，一隊就4射。 呢個尼信，達芬尼亞。呢個波左邊上嚟好靚啊，杜飛段有啊，真係。阿如都交代過，今季英超嘅歐花叻王啊，起未到腳，起唔到，依邊嚟嘅射波砸到啊，波輸得㗎嚇，啱啱即係10零20碼到啊，跟手再射就炒高咗啊！最後起腳就應該係史角嚟嘅，阿里斯史角。依下射埋，如果砸唔到，真係輸得㗎啦，好近啊！後邊落嚟嘅泰拿亞當斯。咁啊，泰拿亞當斯最佳位置應該 holding midfield 啊！呢位美國隊長近年受到好多嘅傷患困擾嘅長時間啊，都係美國一個好重要嘅位置嚟嘅。以往泰拿亞當斯啊，有少少啊，似乎睇睇啊。
Buffering
咪都好自由嘅嚇，咁啊史角可能會前翻啲都未頂，有機會。查拿當斯呢個波就球證覺得佢中咗波先喎，冇事喎，嗨到艾斯嘅係。呢啲高位逼搶，阿仙奴今場波唔算話好成功嘅啫，今次差少少搶到個波，摟咗先啦，摟咗達芬尼亞，掉開咗蘇比文迪先。再要諗咯喎，見到依邊阿仙奴方面，莫斯基拉左閘，賓偉治，點知賓偉治？睇下點樣搞法。
咁近期賓偉治係踢得比較多啲嘅，即係喺國家都有踢啦，咁啊跟住翻嚟足總杯有踢啦，咁啊隊士不停都上陣啦。
即係佢個優點，我覺得佢咧去到啲進攻底線位咧，佢嘅視野會清楚，即係清晰嘅慣啊嘛，即係放落邊點啊、近處遠處啊、cut back 嗰啲啊，但係都唔容易啊！即係連場大戰嘅話，
咁啊美團大家就睇下個耐力啦、意志啦，布魯斯俾埋中間要攞落嚟，亞歷斯史幹衝埋左射，亞歷斯史幹2-1。咁睇下中間嘅，唔係爭嗰幾點啦。本尼茅夫人係比較多啲啊。咁第一泰拿亞當斯頂咗第一下啦，跟住再第二下咧就係埋中間布魯斯頂咗2下頭槌，中間贏咗嘅。然後再轉埋中間，亞歷斯史幹衝埋你嗰個速度嗰一下咧快過蘇比文迪啊，壓咗落嚟射入。咁啊呢度咧睇嚟 hold 住喎，可能莫斯基拉可能唔使用住都唔出奇啊！真係，而家更多要揾進攻球員。一衝上嚟係快過蘇比文迪啊！呢度壓落嚟。咁但係再之前嗰陣就2次喺中場係頂到頭槌先嘅本尼茅夫，咁啊頂咗2下啦，先再組織。
佢射嗰下有少少嘅伸向嘅假動作㗎，同埋我中意佢嘅地方咧，就好多場波去到比賽中後段咧，佢係冇變到嘅，即係嗰個體能嗰方面啦，冇跌到。要打電話喎。唔係而家興 WhatsApp 嗰啲咁嘅啊！好啦，呢邊就阿仙奴球迷就可能有啲擔心。好啦，好起啦，唔換後邊啦。加比啊都換啦，加比捷西斯啊，另外連帶莫斯基拉都話埋嚟，
就加碼啦，變咗係。
Gabriel Jesus coming on。
佢哋就同即係對士砵亭美團咧都有相近嘅地方，就係而家前面一班2個啦。咁啊，當然嗰陣時就哈弗斯同埋約基利斯，咁啊而家就加比捷西斯同約基利斯喺前邊嘅合作。咁啊，杜文咧打咗埋中間。迪勤華斯咪食咗位啦，贏咗對方嘅達芬尼亞。咁莫斯基拉都準備啦，呢位都係西班牙 U21國家隊嘅成員嚟嘅。個轉頭沙利巴以雲尼遜照逼啊！拉亞。咁啊睇中間頭先加比爾捷西斯都走一段啦，喺中圈附近咧向前走啦，然後呢度杜文想轉身啦。咁啊球證咧就唔單止掹個黃牌出嚟，仲有其他嘢掹咗出嚟喎，睇嚟。杜文入咗嚟掂波就唔係好多啊，咁啊托沙就感覺反而仲係回追翻嚟啦。 去追翻住對方閘位嘅次數仲多過進攻添。入嚟兩位嘅側擊球嘅效果咧就唔算好明顯。
Kartu kuning oleh wasit。
亞斯、路斯斯基尼、托沙，咁啊莫斯基拉上咗嚟禁區邊咯。咁啊尾柱都有成4個紅衫啦，包括約基利斯兜翻去尾柱啦，但托沙呢度都要諗啲辦法喎，俾我哋艾斯。嗱，翻嚟再嚟嘅車傳都幾有心思，交俾哲西斯頂住身位，回翻落嚟俾托沙沉底，哎呀一推嗰下咧，咁啊結果就推咗出界啊！幾靚啊！呢個斜傳，艾斯俾得非常嘅漂亮啊！嗱，睇下托沙後尾係咪推呢一個突然間掕多咗一下？
但係加比哲西斯咧，佢最強就係攝呢啲位啊！一攝完佢護住個波，睇下轉唔轉身。如果阿仙奴輸波嘅話咧，有9分嘅優勢。不過曼城係依家係打少阿仙奴2場啊！睇下你點樣計啦。
咁啊，跟住就有直接嘅對碰啦。下個禮拜阿仙奴對曼城啦。
未完嘅啊，仲有時間嘅，未知啊，呢一場波暫時 update 俾大家睇睇啫。收咗快開，搏對方好黃牌，搏到嘅黃牌俾咗依邊啊。咁啊，佢都唔係好介意嘅，確比。
開咗短嘅，托沙俾埋中間，艾斯咁啊打埋大位，再轉嚟呢邊有啲空間喎，都問咪得埋中間，啱啱啦，再拍對打咗入去睇，有基利斯再射，咁但係就炒高咗，
閂到啊應該似係閂到啊，角球嚟㗎，應該係閂到對方隻腳啊，睇睇。
咁結果俾出角球啊呢度，
閂到。
乜都係再次拍到佢出嚟打嘅手場唔算話好好，呢都有少少打向地下嘅。喂，再嚟角球，沙利巴、莫斯基拉、加比爾馬加尼斯都喺小禁區裏邊。加比爾哲西斯啊，攝咗上嚟前點，咁啊剁埋咧都比較中間啲啊，但係藍衫啊多啲，佢出嚟禁區頂。達芬寧啊，喂再推咧人壓當中過唔得，但係推咗約基尼斯嘅犯規啊呢度係。
依家有咁嚴咩攞黃牌？你睇慢鏡頭喎，睇睇約基利斯。我覺得你最多可以犯規，你去到俾黃牌，我又覺得有啲嚴得滯喎。依個波已經超咗尺度，佢有少贏大隻嘅依下，我自己個人觀感啊。但係冇啦，foul咗佢都俾咗啦。依下又唔係話即係手踭嗰啲冇㗎，喺牙個位可能隻腳困到下唔出奇，咪 foul 咯。黃牌就我覺得又有啲嚴嘅依個波。咁但係都唔好拗啦，俾咗啦，時間仲有2個零字到。
咁啊，加比爾馬加尼斯呢度咧就睇嚟係啲眼角位會有啲問題啊。可能頭先個行程覺得都係一個反擊機會啦，咁即係可能覺得約基利斯都係有啲全心咗對方，咁但個動作就唔係好大啊。咁啊，俾咗黃牌。達芬寧啊，喂中間轉身再分俾又係杜飛。咁佢都儲埋咗一陣啦，而家又壓上嚟啊！咁退咗落嚟咧，再出一界。咁啊，亞仙奴嘅成熟啲嘅球迷又好，咁啊小朋友都好，咁啊表情暫時又冇乜啦。咁啊，仲有小朋友都買啲新衫先，呢度就逼埋嚟啦，有個效果。菲洛斯彈翻埋中間，立到一下交俾馬加斯彈翻過嚟。達芬寧啊，喺中路都夠膽去到入攝啦，俾埋中間後上突入呢一陣咧，本尼茅夫都幾多啲咁嘅舉動嘅。咁入波嗰下就艾力斯史葛衝上嚟，亞力斯史葛。咁啊，達芬寧啊，今日嘅位置咧都係好多時候走埋中間嘅咁。咁啊，跟住呢下似乎就自己嘅左腳撞咗波落至右腳，再出界。咁呢邊就本尼茅夫嘅擁躉啦。 好多球隊都會對伊拉奧拿嘅執教感到興趣啦，就可能想揾佢過檔。如果季尾再有進一步突破性嘅表現嘅話，咁啊，般尼茅夫嘅呢位主帥係咪會有更多球隊關注佢呢？咁啊，舊年其實已經就熱刺當時換領隊啦，據講佢都係其中一個嘅候選者嚟嘅。不過當時最後尾揀咗法蘭，咁啊加埋佢都有條件，除咗英超呢度揾到新工之外啦，西班牙嗰邊亦都應該好多球隊會係適合佢執教。拉入嘅長波，交俾哲西斯，我落咗嚟再過咯。咁啊，但係杜飛都好實淨。不過馬夫嚟到呢個尾段咧，就好多球佢哋嘅體能啊、埋身嘅對抗都係冇乜輸喎，即係杜飛啦、亞歷斯詹美斯頭先係鬥走啦，路斯史基尼入嘅利斯，咪轉身啦，咪對亞歷斯詹美斯一推落嚟啦，再出咁啊散嘅時候再嚟角球。咁啊，翻嚟追，雖然有啲喘氣，但係亞歷斯詹美斯仍然追得到。我哋都揾迪勤華斯，麥莫斯基啦，中間有身形啦。咁啊，沙利巴亦都準備都交俾馬加尼斯，都好好嘅接應點啊。迪勤華斯開埋都繼續幾貼門㗎，咁啊跟住咧就雖然有人阻影響下佢，但係阻住拍到位，一伸隻手出嚟就打走佢啦。咁啊今屆5計12碼，咁啊單計英超咧就阿仙奴都有22個嘅死球入波，咁啊單計角球咧就16球嘅，咁啊平咗咧就英超嘅單季角球入波紀錄。跟住馬利咪再打走啦。咁都係左次拍到被打另一邊，都文艾斯，杜文再對呢邊嘅布魯斯，咁拐咗幾下，帶咗埋大圍啦，再揚啦，跟住右腳再出啦，散翻落嚟，布魯斯就解圍，咪踢佢出嚟，亞歷斯史葛，咁但佢都年青啦，22歲啦。咁啊呢度咧就因為個波出咗界啦，咁啊再帶咗幾步踢走咗波啦，咁啊然後咧就球證都係吹。咁啊，再嚟呢個時間咧，亦都就換另一位嘅都係國腳嘅球員啦，匈牙利嘅托特。
佢射嗰下有少少嘅假動作㗎嚇，望一望另一邊，炸第一射，咁啊就係嗰個腳腕一擺咧，捽翻過嚟另一邊，令到呢個入波就更加有把握。當然有咁嘅時間準備啦，同埋佢有咁嘅體能啊，去到比賽尾段啊。所以確比，咁啊呢個時候換入咧就托特啦，都係冬季嘅時候轉會過嚟，啱啱過咗1000萬英鎊嘅轉會費啦，104年。
呢個係長期嘅匈牙利嘅新星啊，雖然就年紀輕輕，但係其實喺過往嘅1年咧，佢都匈牙利國家隊常規上陣嘅球員嚟㗎，中場中。大家先20歲仔，
即係蘇布斯拿爾嘅隊友喎。
係啊，都係卡卡斯嗰啲舊 friend 啦，係啦。都文，破咗關就大比橫呢個選擇麻麻地啊，托沙再攞。我覺得對於杜文嚟講，即係而家喺幾有壓力底下去踢比賽啦，球隊要追啦，而家咁呢一陣嘅發揮咧，佢就唔算好突出啦。個盤口亦都唔係太成功，托沙博到翻嚟之後呢邊有罰球，迪勤華斯選擇開短嘅，俾佢哋右邊，都係俾信心杜文啦，帶埋大位得埋中間，後場交俾哲西斯頂到，有少少烏低身頂咯，加埋個本身埋嚟嘅球速唔算好快，咁啊，只不然頂出嚟個力度就唔係好猛啦，所以話拋物線啦，亦都個位置啱啱喺正，左次拍到域嘅頭頂。
依家拍到域就好小心啦，寧願輸個角球啊！但係角球對阿仙奴嚟講係咪再一次叫咧？開個短，不過唔係開近嗰個，開出邊嗰個。迪勤華斯射埋，深落嚟㗎係咪？解圍啦，黐落嚟，哇！係咪專登㗎？ 應該似乎係喎，輸得好靚喎嗰個路線，再嚟個插花，有理由相信艾斯係有咁嘅能力嘅，大力咗啲，可以唔要啦呢個波啊！杜文啊，16歲，而家要即係嗰個心理關口壓力啊，咁啊都係一個好嘅磨練啊！呢個時候出嚟，球迷磨練咗都好多年㗎啦嚇，即係啲心理關口。但係佢哋形勢，我要強調，佢哋仍然係有形勢嘅嚇。講緊個聯賽榜首位置，不過就冇咁大咁解啫。如果你贏唔到或者係輸波，
咁呢個時候用杜文咧，亦都反映到亞迪達對佢嘅信心咯，即係接連嘅好表現啦，為佢足總杯即使輸波，但係都踢得好，
佢都冇怯場嗰啲嘢，見到啊 OK 嘅都話。
咁啊，再加埋英格蘭嘅 U21、U19嘅代表隊啦，佢亦都有係一個入波同埋2個助攻，就對住葡萄牙嘅比賽。拉入俾過嚟。咁而家更加見到咧，就亞西羅睇嚟啲中堅咧，直接都擺上去啦。咁啊，頭先後邊嘅組織啦、用波啦，或者佢哋嘅中堅咧，而家直頭咧都唔係個個需要翻嚟自己嘅崗位拉也，所以可能更加直接嘅就斬上嚟搏下啲高點啦，爭個第一點啦，加比爾馬加尼斯變中鋒啦，而家就搭住咗約基尼斯，即係2個加比爾、加比爾哲西斯、加比爾馬加尼斯啊，都係前鋒啦。咁後邊咧淨係留一個沙利巴，咁啊隔離亦都有迪勤懷斯啊傍住啦。咁啊莫斯基拉就稍為拉右手邊多少少，拍出嚟莫斯基拉。約基尼斯、加比爾哲西斯，即係個斜場啦，加比爾馬加尼斯打埋拖坑佢嗰啲啊，再埋咧，跟住最後咩艾斯詹美斯快啲嘅，亞利斯詹美斯快啲，咁所以加比爾馬加尼斯咧就慢咗啦，踢唔到個波中到人啦，所以係吹罰亞仙奴。但呢下中間過得幾靚啊，加比爾馬加尼斯，咁當然亦都係咪有啲手球嘅可能咧？因為彈上去嗰下，實呢個彈啦過咗啦。最後尾就呢度啱啱快一步篤咗先，
佢啊吸翻埋中間有啲偶然性，膝頭撞咗變咗東坑渠啊！咁啊變咗覺得更加徹底。不過就喺咁嘅情況之下咧，甩咗腳，呢邊都爆得快。哇！好多打得好好啊，包括入波嘅史國啦，右閘嘅詹美利斯啦，佢都走好多啊，唔止左閘嘅杜飛啊，呢邊都走好多。史國又好，詹美利斯都好啊，都係好嘅咁實波。好，後備王啊，安尼斯烏拿，呢位土耳其嘅國腳，西甲轉戰英超啦嚇。咁啊，另外阿當史密夫入替咧就係詹美利斯。咁啊，睇下點樣擺法啦，會唔會少時間換位咧？阿當史密夫打翻右閘。咁就係烏拿就係咪取代伊雲尼遜呢？睇睇下，咁啱攔唔切啊！咁而家保持好咗耐啦。
咁啊，的確咧就換走伊雲尼遜啦，係。咁啊，中鋒啊換翻中鋒。咁啊，抌個過嚟一睇出啲界啊，呢度都係。問一陣啦，咁啊沿住條邊線咧，結果就出咗界外。阿當史密夫亦都係近年本尼茅夫嘅老臣子啦，咁而家34歲啦，但係佢其實就2個月之前咧都續咗約，續咗1年。咁去到咧就出年嘅6月，咁啊佢都係球會歷史上咧上陣次數第6多嘅球員嚟嘅，冇見過代表成立。咁啊，土耳其前鋒安尼斯烏拿咧作埋嚟逼沙利巴抌翻後，迪勤懷斯，我就咁呢個波就選擇都未必好好啊！沙利巴咧就呢度掕多2腳啦，都俾迪勤懷斯可以猜翻埋中間啦，但係佢直接斬上嚟啦，喺中線附近。咁啊，詹士希爾又殺出嚟啦，咁啊褪翻落嚟呢個泰拿亞當斯，咁啊托沙結果就唔抌啦，都揾後邊嘅路斯史基尼。個波會唔會轉去右邊快啲會更好啦？ 迪勤華斯俾佢嚟，杜文轉翻埋中間，艾斯。嗱，個紅衫都好多都喺禁區邊緣啲位置等啦。咁啊，莫斯基拉都變埋中鋒啦。而家有5個入住禁區啦，睇下杜文啦，都係唔出住俾後邊嘅。迪勤華斯扯埋中間位置，頭槌咗基斯頂咗埋嚟啊！中咗對方嘅啲。本身個波就唔中籠啦，但係似乎有啲中咗後衞再出界嘅。嚟睇睇，個基斯頂係咯，中咗。係咪中到亞當史密夫啦？中咗身啦，係咯，咁啊中咗再出界嘅，咁但係就俾咗龍門球喎，睇嚟。不過本身約基利斯嘅頭槌頂得唔算好喎，即係亦都歪咗啦，可能頂反方向威力更加大啲。亞歷斯史角鬥上嚟，好啦，達芬尼亞就左腳，可能佢都覺得幾吸引啊，個波彈下就左腳就拉埋去啦，但係高咗。
好射啊！波都波嚟到比賽尾段，補時剩翻2分鐘鬆啲，拉下大腳啦，未出界，棍到埋嚟，約基利斯，就翻右腳，係咪可以左腳近地都試下啦？就翻右腳，你見到個效果就會咁啦嚇。呢個係當時嘅選擇，左腳近啲都可以試下，右腳好信心好啲，但係你拐翻右腳翻步嗰下個光景會唔同。但係睇睇慢鏡頭啦，係咪可以真係左腳近啲都試下射啦？右腳對方會包到埋嚟啊嘛，試過，依下有啲可惜啊！
對亞仙奴嚟講，其實即係而家追和都有個重要價值，因為頭先我哋都睇過積分榜。咁啊，暫時亞仙奴70分啦。咁啊，如果呢場真係最終落敗，咁啊繼續維持翻9分，領前曼城。兩隊有一場直接嘅對碰，下個禮拜日。然後咧就曼城都打少2場，就一場係聽日對車路士啦。咁但係仲有對水晶宮嗰場補賽咧，都唔知幾時先補到，因為水晶宮亦都唔得閒啦而家。咁去打協會聯賽。咁所以其實如果多1分咧，呢個價值都喺呢度。咁當然亦都會有得失球差嘅大家唔同啦。亞仙奴暫時係差唔多係正38啦。咁喺呢度咧，所以就呢1分咧，對亞仙奴嚟講，而家係有個咁嘅價值喺度嘅。咁啊攞多1分，就算贏唔到都好啦，攞到嗰1分咧，都會有一個明顯嘅分別。咁所以又唔理咁多啦，拉亞都獲準咧，就上嚟招波喎。莫德華咧就將個上到拉亞喎，睇嚟。咁咧等佢出嚟之後，呢度咧就唔理咁多，頂住先啊，路易斯基尼。咁拉亞翻去咧，亞斯轉翻過嚟啦。迪勤懷斯咁啊彈翻出嚟，莫沙利巴都要快啊，咁啊回翻俾一齊艾斯。咁蓋出關啦，再回過嚟啊，迪勤懷斯。咁啊中間有幾個高大嘅，咁啊時間得翻30秒到啊，路易斯基尼。跟住。咁睇落唔係好似會越位嘅情況啊！亞仙奴球迷都知道今日要失望而回啦。所以情況就係咁啊！即係而家最終比數冇變化，9分差距，一場直接較量。曼城有2場比賽打少，當然睇聽日啦，聽日對車路士。咁所以緊張嗰1分咧，都唔好話唔緊張啊！嗰度真係。
嗰個氣勢啊！你油漿球場不敗就不敗㗎啦嚇，輸1場就輸1場，應該就略再補多少少，差唔多㗎啦嚇。啊頭先冇諗到話越位嚇，咁啊信旁證信求證啦，當然嚇，佢哋清楚。仲有冇個攻勢咧？冇啦，聽到雞聲啊！好啦，首循環係亞仙奴作客贏3-2嘅，嚟到次循環，伊拉奧拿帶領嘅般尼茅夫作客贏翻亞仙奴2-1，咁啊最後入。